Good afternoon, everybody. We are here with the commentary for this past face-to-face tours 1K Legacy side event tournament. So the main event this weekend was trios. I believe it was Standard, Pioneer, Modern. But we did have quite a great turnout for our Legacy side event. So it was capped at 32 players, but then they opened up the event to anyone who was dropping out of the main event. And I think we got approximately 44 people, so we got an additional 12, which was fantastic. So here we have round one. This is, you might recognize the playmat. This is Jeffery on mono black Helm today against Trevor, one of our great community's leaders for Legacy of the North, and he is on Sneak and Show today. So Jeffery, I believe right now is on a mulligan to 5. I think he is debating on whether or not he wants to keep this. It looks like he is settling in. The spare card there, I think he's sleeving the promo card that's given away. It looks like he's picked his 2 cards. Nope, he is sending it back. So he might be on a mull to 4 now. Looked like he was going to pitch to keep 5. So most likely on a mulligan to 4. Not a great start, not only to the round, but not a great start to the day. So this is Trevor's opening hand. We have Sneak Attack, Brainstorm, Atraxa, Force of Will, Daze. So pretty good looking from Trevor's part. He has everything that he really wants. So we see from Jeffery, Leyline of the Void. Oh, Leyline of the Void and Profane Tutor are cards that he's considering taking out. Looking to keep 3 lands, Thoughtseize, and a Wasteland. Looks like he's going to pitch the Verdant. So he is on 4 cards. Oh, pitching 2 Swamps and a Wasteland? So he's starting with Leyline. So he keeps Verdant into Profane Tutor with a Thoughtseize in hand. I don't know if he knows what Trevor's playing against, but keeping the... I don't know if Jeffery knows what Trevor is playing against, but keeping the Thoughtseize round 1 or game 1 is a very smart decision. So off the Brainstorm here, we see Trevor drawing his 3 cards. Looks like Brainstorm, Island, Sneak Attack. Looks like he's topping the Atraxa. And he's playing the Lotus Petal and passing the turn. So seeing the black, the Leyline of the Void, he doesn't want to leave the Lotus Petal just in his hand, because then it can get taken away. So Jeffery cracking the Verdant Catacombs, finding a snow-covered swamp. So I think we're going to see the Thoughtseize come down here. There's the Thoughtseize. Jeffery was going to go down to 17. Trevor casting Daze. Wants to protect all the cards in his hand. The life totals should be updating pretty soon here. Jeffery top decks a Castle Lock Thwain and then suspends a Profane Tutor. So it looks like he's going to try to find the Helm of Obedience. The question is, will he be able to get the mana to cast Helm and use Helm in the same turn? Here's a Brainstorm for Trevor. So he draws Preordained, Sneak Attack. So he's going to top deck 2 other Sneak Attacks that were in his hand. Probably going to play Island and then Preordain here, and then bottom the 2 Sneak Attacks. Yep, That's exactly what's going to happen. So Trevor's going to draw, and he draws an Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. So all these cards Trevor is casting are going into the exile, thanks to the Leyline of the Void. Jeffery will draw a card, and he top decks Daughty Voidwalker. So one half of a combo, but it's the same half of the combo that he has on the board. So now he's just looking for... He unfortunately, even off the Profane Tutor, he needs to draw a land in order to get the Helm of Obedience, or if he draws Helm of Obedience, he needs to get a land. The problem is that he needs to tutor before he gets to draw. Here's Trevor casting Lotus Petal, cracking them both, playing a Sneak Attack. So next turn he will get to activate Sneak Attack to put in Atraxa, find a bunch of stuff. He's going to Force of Will the Profane Tutor during Jeffrey's upkeep. So he's in an extremely dominant position here. Jeffery should be at 17, I believe. Trevor's still able to activate Sneak Attack, getting Atraxa, looking at the top 10, getting and essentially refilling his hand. And then he can find another red source to put in the Emrakul. So here's Atraxa. Let's see what he get. City of Traders, Ponder, City of Traders, Force of Will, Simian Spirit Guide, Gristlebrand, Sneak Attack, or no, sorry, Show and Tell, Ancient Tomb, Otawara, and Misty. So he's gonna get land, Show and Tell, Gristlebrand, no, Simian Spirit Guide, that gets your red source, and then Force of Will for just anything just in case. But he does have an Emrakul in hand, so I guess he can use the Show and Tell as a backup to his Force of Will. Yeah, so he's just gonna crack a red source. I don't know why Jeffrey's tapping his... Oh! Jeffery flashes in Opposition Agent. So I think that's the card that he got off the top, because his Profane Tutor was exiled, or countered. Yeah, so Trevor shows him the Emrakul after activating the Sneak Attack, and that will end Game 1. So Game 1 will go to Trevor. He doesn't outright kill Jeffrey, but the Annihilator 6s him, and Jeffrey loses all of his permanents. So we will go into sideboarding here. We can see Jeffrey boarding in. Looks like he's considering those Shieldreds. It's kind of hard to see, but it looks like Duress, Shieldred's Edict, Shieldred's Edict, and one Shieldred herself. I couldn't get a good look at the other two cards. Trevor boarding in 3 defense grids. So now that Trevor is on the draw, his dazes aren't so good, so those will probably be for steady cuts. Jeffrey, on the other hand, is a combo deck, so... Oh, it looks like he's boarding out the Fatal Pushes, so that's smart. Fatal Pushes don't really do anything in this matchup. They actually are just stone cold dead. So there's I think two Fatal Pushes out for Jeffrey. So boarding in 2 Duresses, 2 Shieldred's Edict, and 2 Shieldreds, considering not the big Shieldreds. We are going to take a lot of the removal and the disruption here. So Trevor already done sideboarding, patiently waiting for Jeffrey to finish. Jeffrey considering taking out Marilyn. So cutting 2 Profane Tutors, the Wastelands, and the Fatal Push. So it looks like he's trying to fit in these 2 Shieldreds. If they're only effective if you can get them down quickly. He opts to take out Wastelands, but Wastelands are pretty good against Show and Tell. It's in an awkward position. The Show and Tell decks don't do a lot except for cast Show and Tell with their soul lands. I know there's been a lot of talk considering putting the One Ring into Show and Tell decks just to make use of their City of Traders and Ancient Tombs that they play, because they don't do anything other than accelerate the Show and Tell. So we're gonna start to see this. I know Trevor's deck doesn't play the One Ring. We're gonna look at Jeffrey's opening hand here. Thoughtseize, Helm to Torok, Dothy Voidwalker, Leyline of the Void, Orcish Bowmasters, and 2 lands. Looks like they're both gonna keep. So Jeffrey opens with turn 1 Thoughtseize. So already having half of his combo here. Trevor has access to free Force of Wills and Dazes if possible. So we are going to see the turn 1 Force protecting the rest of Trevor's hand. Trevor's going to draw a card, it's Sneak Attack off the top. Plays an island for turn and passes back. Jeffrey top decks Dark Ritual. So his only other land in hand is Ancient Tomb. Down it comes. Gonna tap for 3 or double black. So we're gonna use Urborg's special ability to make Ancient Tomb tap for 1 black mana. In response to the Hymn to Torok, Trevor is brainstorming. So he draws Island, Force of Will, Preordain. Looking to top deck Sneak Attack. And I couldn't get a glimpse of the other card. So Sneak Attack for sure on the top. Hymn to Torok resolving here. Resolves and discards Defense Grid and Misty Rainforest. Passing back to Trevor. So Trevor had Sneak Attack Emrakul on the top. We're gonna play Preordain to scry 2, draw 2. So on the top is now Brainstorm, Sneak Attack. He is going to choose to keep them, draws a Brainstorm, plays an island, and then passes the turn. Jeffrey draws Duress for turn. Will he continue attacking Trevor's hand? He does. So Jeffrey taps the Ancient Tomb for 1 black mana because of Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth here. In response to Jeffrey's Duress, Jeffrey's going to cast Dark Ritual into Orcish Bowmasters. So this is going to do a ton of damage. When it enters the battlefield, it's going to ping Trevor for 1 and make an Orc. And then Trevor is going to draw 3 cards, put 2 cards back, resolving the Brainstorm, and then triggering the Bowmasters 3 times. So you do have to finish Brainstorm first. So Trevor draws Sneak Attack, Brainstorm, Volcanic Island. What 2 cards is he going to put back? Yeah, so I think right now they're just confirming when the Orcish Bowmasters pings. So Trevor deciding on Brainstorm and Sneak Attack here. Keeping Volcanic Island, Emrakul, Force of Will. So that means Jeffrey will be able to take the Force of Will here. So Trevor's going to take 3 from the 3 cards that he drew, and then the Orc is going to become a 4/4. Only card that Jeffery can take is the Force of Will. So Trevor going to draw Brainstorm off the top here. Oh, Sneak Attack off the top. Okay. So Jeffery draws for turn. It looks like it was another Dark Ritual. Not certain. Jeffery swings in for 5, puts Trevor to 10. Down comes Dothy Voidwalker. So Trevor draws the Brainstorm that he put on top from his other Brainstorm. So now Trevor's hand is Emrakul, Sneak Attack, Brainstorm. He's facing down a 1/1 Orc, a 4/4 Orc Army. Sorry, a 1/1 Bowmaster, 4/4 Orc Army, and a 3/2 Dothy Voidwalker. So not going... Never had a chance to do the combo here, but he's doing a fantastic job of beating down thanks to this Orcish Bowmasters here. A new addition to the deck. So I think Trevor is trying to do some math. He's pretty much dead if he doesn't cast this Brainstorm, but if he does cast this Brainstorm, he does fall to 7. Yeah, so Brainstorm is gonna have to resolve first here. So drawing Otawara, Show and Tell, and Ponder. So this does it, right? If he plays Otawara... what's going on? He plays Otawara, he can cast Show and Tell, and then he can play Emrakul, but I think he's still dead on... No, but he can block the big Orc, but he won't be able to block the Dothy Voidwalker, so I think he has around 2 turns, maybe? 2 more turns? So Jeffery draws. I'm not sure the 2 cards in his hand. Oh, but Trevor cannot block the Dothy Voidwalker, so he's gonna take 4 damage, go to 3. There's Dark Ritual into Marilyn! So Trevor's currently at 3 life. He takes 4 damage, 3 from the Dothy Voidwalker and 1 from the Bowmasters. And because of Marilyn's special ability that prevents players from drawing, but instead of drawing, they get to tutor for any card, but they lose 3 life. So that is going to kill Trevor for exact damage. Very impressive. So it was Dark Ritual into the Marilyn. That was a perfect amount of mana as well. So I suspect that Trevor is trying to board in some amount of dazes if he took them out. It looks like he's taking out the defense grids. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what cards he would be bringing back in. So this new mono black Helm deck is very mid-range now. It's got pretty powerful creatures in Opposition Agent, Dothy Voidwalker, Orcish Bowmaster, and as you saw, Jeffery tried to fit in the Shieldrids. These are excellent mid-range strategy creatures. Dothy being able to disrupt opponents' graveyards while also taking their best spells is a very potent strategy, while also not being able to be blocked. So Trevor's opening hand, City of Traders, Preordain, 2 Lotus Petals, Flooded Strand, City of Traders, and a Show and Tell. Looks like he's going to keep it. Looks like they're both going to keep. No pre-game effects from Jeffery. So Trevor has all the mana that he needs, but he doesn't have a payoff card for this Show and Tell. So keeping the Preordain, although one of the worst cantrips, still a cantrip to find a spell. Jeffery keeps 3 Daughty Voidwalkers, Karn, Helm of Obedience. So he does have a full combo in his hand with Daughty Voidwalker and Helm of Obedience, but he just has to hope that he can get it down before Trevor can find a threat. Trevor draws Lotus Petal off of the Preordain here. So Jeffery finds a Castle Lock Lane. Trevor top decks Emrakul. I think that ends the game. Now he has everything that he needs. He's gonna... Looks like he's gonna deploy all of his Lotus Petals here. He can now cast Show and Tell. So he's gonna put in the Emrakul. Jeffery most likely gonna put in the Helm of Obedience. There's nothing really else that he can put in. So if Trevor had any other threat, I think Jeffery would be in an okay position. But the fact that Trevor attacks and there's an Annihilator trigger, it's gonna be bad. But we're gonna get a short sound clip here from Jeffery.
This is so bad. I wish you had anything but that one. Activate Helm for 2.
Alright, so I mill until I hit a land, right?
So there's Jeffery activating Helm. This is a desperation play, but there's nothing he can really find to stop Trevor from winning the game here. Trevor wins the match. On to round 2.